Here's Lance. That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. And he's going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On first down, Lance. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't third down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
On third down, here's Mitchell. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the fourth down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Rohrwasser's kick is good. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it. And they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Let's go now.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. Here's Hurts to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. They've got his man complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Hurts throw going into the hands of Williams. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. The ball comes out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. So a turnover there on the kickoff, and don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now you get the football right back with another great opportunity.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
79 Broncos. Mustang 19.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. That's going to be caught. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Jamison Williams, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Lions get a bit closer. Well, yes, that's his third touchdown catch, which is very impressive. But on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
That's caught at the 2. And he'll wind up short of the goal line, so they will not be able to get this back within a score, as this remains a 10-point differential. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Last time I remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, due to a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he's got it to about the 40.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
19 tight. 19 tight.
They'll look to throw here. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown. Jamison Williams from 8 yards out. And the Lions are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Lance looking to throw it. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
There's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starter's telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
And Hurts is intercepted, his third of the game. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
The Lance going to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the Lions are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And the 49ers are going to have it here at their own 15. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd and 12, Lance. And Shark calls it in. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try to loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
94 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, He's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On first down, they go back to Mitchell. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
On 2nd and 12, Lance. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. To throw, it's Lance. That's another one complete to Mitchell. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground here, Mitchell. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
An interesting and intriguing decision here defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Back to throw. And that's caught by Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ready.
They'll look to throw. finding Knox there, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 40. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffer the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So for the Niners, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head home next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the